So welcome to Las Vegas on what should be a classic fight night, we hope. Well, all the headlines around Las Vegas in the newspapers. Todo por la gloria de Mexico. That's about the big one tonight, Morales and Barrera. The arena just filling up, as you can see, but it'll be full later on, believe me. In the silver trunks here is Martinez from Argentina, who's won 16 out of 17 so far. The 21-year-old Mexican Antonio Margarito from Tijuana, and he has been sparring with Oscar De La Hoya in preparation for his big fight next week against Daryl Coley. De La Hoya, by the way, due to be in a rematch with Felix Trinidad maybe in mid-June. That's the latest word.
Well, you just wonder how much that sparring took out of Margarito. That's pretty tough work in the ring every day with Oscar De La Hoya.
Well, the Argentinians who are taking the big fight tonight live were especially pleased to see Martinez getting his place on this bill. A reputation of a tall, clever boxer. 7 of his last 8 fights won on points. He's the one in the silver trunks, remember, on the right of the picture, the Argentinian. The only blemish on his record, a draw against Mario Nieva a couple of years ago. Margarito's lost 3 out of 23, all on points. The last one, though, was 4 years ago, so he's on a decent run since then.
Well, Martinez is getting off quite good. He looks fast and slick, and some nice punches coming in from him. Looks a little different from most Argentine fighters who are normally just tough, bull-like, come-forward fighters. You know, he's on the back foot and looking to pick his shots quite well.
Southpaw stance, poking out that jab, and there it is again from Martinez.
Martinez got his hands very low by his sides, but got quick reflexes in and out and coming back with some good left hands.
Having to fight with his back to the ropes for a moment, Martinez. This is going to be the tactics, I think, from the Mexican Margarito to try to cut off the corners, bull Martinez around.
Well, he's got to try and just get a better defense as he does that, Margarito, because his face is very red and he's getting caught with some sharp punches as he comes forward.
I just wonder how much good it's done Margarito sparring with Oscar De La Hoya these past few days.
Well, I can think of better preparation for a fight than that. That's a pretty tough way to earn your money.
Oh, right hand, though, from Margarito, and Martinez in trouble. Will have to take a count. Mandatory 8. Buckled at the knees, and trouble for the Argentinian. And he's still not ready to go back into action. He didn't actually touch down, but he had to take a count because it was just the ropes that kept him up. So Joe Cortez was absolutely right. Question of whether on the scorecard you negate everything else that happened with that incident. But it's a real test for this Argentinian now. This was a showcase for him tonight. It would be a nightmare for him if he was to come a cropper. Could happen, though. Due to go 10 this in the welterweight division.
Well, he was doing very well in that round, but he was too relaxed, I think. Had his hands very low, taking a few chances, maybe just taking Margarito a little bit too lightly. Now he knows that he can be hurt with a punch, and now he's got to try and do something a bit better.
Margarito looking the more limited stylist of the two, but he looks like so many of the Mexicans, really tough. Picked up again with the fast southpaw jab. It looks like the minute has been long enough for the head of Martinez to clear. Mexican, remember, in the white trunks here. With his back to you. Margarito from the same town, Tijuana, on the border as Eric Morales, who we see in the big one later on. Looks a bit open, doesn't he, Martinez?
He's very open. He's got good fast hands, and reflexes are good with his hands, but you just can't be that defensively open.
Margarito having no trouble really in getting in range to land these siding shots of his own. This might be a long night for Sergio Gabriel Martinez, and it might be a disappointment for the Argentinian fans back home who were hoping that he'd put on a good performance here on this massive bill.
Well, Martinez is used to going to points. 7 of his last wins have been on points, so that shouldn't worry him too much. But though, just the way Margarito comes forward, he looks tough and he looks strong and rugged.
Sneak little left hand by Martinez, but these are single shots from him, and the bull-like rugged qualities of the Mexican, who was a little low with one of his blows. He's on those ropes again. He's not especially elusive, and he'll need to tighten up that defense, Martinez. Otherwise he could be looking down the barrel of his first defeat tonight.
There were good shots inside from Margarito, looking to catch Martinez with the uppercut.
Right hand, did it land from Martinez? Well,
push Martinez around a bit too much, and there's some good uppercuts went in there. And I don't know if the strength and the power is going to be too much for Martinez. He's got to start getting some sharper boxing going.
Silver trunks, remember, of Sergio Gabriel Martinez, the 24-year-old from Argentina. Came with a reputation of something of a stylist, though he hadn't seen him before, but he's not especially elusive or quick, is he?
He's not. He's boxing with a very relaxed style, which I think he could do without. He'd do better, I think, if he tucked up and tried not to be as flash.
Trying to get him with some left hands and then away again. Raiding tactics here from Martinez. Will these work for him? A bit lighter on his feet, trying to give it some lateral movement. All the time Margarito looking to cut off the ring. Margarito's been a pro, like so many Mexicans, since he was just 15 years old. Body shots, and these might be the answer for him.
Margarito's not especially elusive himself. He does get hit when he comes forward, but he has, he is very, very strong. Does look the harder puncher of the two.
Well, he's typical Mexican, isn't he? Walk through walls to land his own punches.
That's right. He's prepared to take a few when he comes in, and just hopes that his strength and his bull-like quality will tell.
There was a decent left-hand counter from Martinez in there, but he'll be wanting to keep the fight out in the center of the ring if he can. Margarito getting closer again, looking to unload those body shots. They really have to work for this one, I think, Martinez. He reeled off 10 straight wins last year. And Bob Arum was saying that he is the best prospect at the moment in Argentina.
Well, I think this is going to be a real test for him. This is going to show what sort of character he's got, and if he's really got the heart for the game.
Right uppercut, didn't seem to quite land from Margarito. Seemed to hit the gloves to me. The right hand did get through there, though. He's spending too much time on these ropes here, this Argentinian.
Bump. development just around that left eye. So, you know, testimony that he's starting to get hit with some pretty hard punches.
Martinez in the silver trunks, and I think we've determined already, despite some good pre-publicity about him, that he's no Carlos Monzon, the great world middleweight champion from Argentina, who reigned for 7 years through 14 defenses before his car ran off a country road and he was killed at too tender an age.
It's a little better for Martinez. If he can carry on using that speed and get out the way, he just stands around a bit too much when Margarito starts coming forward.
Margarito still determined to get in close, having to take 1 or 2 on the way in, mind you. Welterweight division, this one. It's becoming an exciting division too, with the De La Hoya Trinidad rematch mooted, Shane Mosley coming through, and a few others as well beginning to enter the equation, like Vernon Forrest. Mind you, he's been around bubbling under for quite a long time. Neither of these two in that kind of league so far. These are good shots getting through from Margarito here, body shots, and they must be weakening Martinez, and I think they're going to destroy his ability to get around the ring eventually if he can keep up this attack, the Mexican.
Well, he was just starting to work Martinez over with that little flurry of punches. Martinez's boxing is becoming more ragged. He's looking to hold when he gets inside now.
Oh, he gets there again, Margarito. Maybe that sparring with Oscar De La Hoya hasn't done him too much harm after all.
Well, not on this performance so far. It certainly made him tough enough. He doesn't want to be taking too many fast shots off De La Hoya.
Mind you, I bet he earned his money in there with him.
I'm sure he will have.
Just looks so much stronger, more experienced and rugged, doesn't he, Margarito?
Well, Martinez thrown plenty punches, but they're just really with the arms and not landing with any substance.
He gets a really good combination there, Martinez, though, but he doesn't look at
that exchange.
Here's the 5th round. Due to go 10. At welterweight, silver trunks of the Argentinian Sergio Gabriel Martinez, who's in a bit of bother here and could be facing his first defeat unless he can come up with something pretty special. I think he's learning quite a lot in there. He'll need to learn it quick.
Well, he's more mature at 24, Martinez. He's a top-class amateur in Argentina. So, you know, he's been around. He knows the game. He'll have been in tough fights before. But is he prepared for somebody like Margarito?
There's your scorecard so far, Glenn.
Yep, just having Margarito pulling away a 2-point deficit for him.
I've got it by 3 to Margarito. That's not a bad shot at all from Martinez. He's still spitting out defiance and trying to box his way to victory, but he just doesn't seem to quite have the tools or be enough of a craftsman to do that, does he?
He doesn't. He's got a sharp left hand when he throws that by itself. That works quite well, but he relies on that far too much, and the thing that is missing from him is a good southpaw jab, and normally southpaws do so well with their jab, but he's not really getting off with it.
Yes, if he could throw that, he would be keeping Margarito more off balance. Instead, the Mexican is able to walk in without paying too heavy a price most of the time. It's a big disappointment, I would think, to the Martinez camp. They've just stepped him up in class a little bit here. Not anything like world class, and he looks as if he's not quite up to it so far, anyway.
Yes, so far he's just not coping with the problems that Margarito's setting. Occasionally he does get through with nice sharp punches, but you know, too much he's falling in to his work and not getting good punches off.
It's a good little rally over the last 20 seconds or so from Martinez. He's covering up quite well and has got him with a few little sharp shots of his own. Like that. Just not quite so effective, Margarito, for the moment. It's a bit wild and ragged, though. He did get there with the left hand whipped in.
Good things, but he also got hit back with some decent punches off Margarito. Margarito just quietened down a little bit in the last round.
White trunks then, Antonio Margarito, the Oscar de la Hoya sparring partner, the silver of this Argentinian, making his first appearance outside his home country, Sergio Gabriel Martinez. Argentina have never had a world welterweight champion in history, and they might have to wait a little longer. Nice, good sharp right hand from Martinez, but he needs more of that.
Yes, his jabs just not that effective. You know, it's not doing enough to keep Margarito off, and that's what he needs. He needs someone to keep him off balance.
Margarito, though, starting to look a bit wild. That's a good shot again from Martinez. He's more accurate at the moment, Glenn, I think.
Yes, he is. I think you're right, Margarito. Just looking a little tired. You know, he's starting to get wild, not as effective when he gets in close.
It's been a rough workout, this, for Martinez. If he could pull this round a bit, that's a good shot. Going in from Margarito this time, and it seemed to just buckle the knees again of the Argentinian. He recovered from it quickly. His conditioning got him through the moment, but he was definitely hurt again there.
Well, that was after a good spell in the round for Martinez, but now Margarito's starting to come on strong again, now that the movement for Martinez has stopped.
This round swinging one way and then the other. Martinez started it pretty well. It's good exchanges. Well, it's Martinez who has to give ground, though. Margarito thudding in some heavy shots. He's obviously very, very durable and tough, this Mexican.
Well, Ian, they're both getting tired now. That's making for a better fight. They're both prepared to stand toe-to-toe.
Well, Martinez won the first minute of the round, but Margarito's taken over. It's not a bad scrap, is it?
It's a good scrap. The movement has stopped now for Martinez, which signifies, you know, he's starting to get very, very tight. He's having to fight in there.
And as he does that, his defense looks open, too open. He's a sitting target, really, for Margarito. Doubt. 7th round of this welterweight clash. And we think Antonio Margarito, with his back to in the white trunks, is the one in charge of this at the moment. He just looks too strong, more than anything else, for Martinez, who obviously has skills, but is missing in one or two other departments. Like defense.
Yes, defense, and I think all over body strength. You know, he just doesn't look as physically strong as Margarito.
Martinez was a good class amateur, boxing in the World Championships in '97.
Well, I've still got Margarito ahead, pulling away a little bit now. 3 points in the lead.
Yeah, I've got it the same. Body shots on the inside from Margarito. Martinez hit by that right hand. He's looking a bit disorganized, isn't he, at the moment?
Yes, that was a nice turn from Margarito. You just sense he's coming on a bit stronger. Maybe he feels the strength of Martinez is starting to flow out of him.
He might be right. He's just working over the Argentinian a little here. I wonder if Martinez's legs have gone, Glenn.
Well, he's the last round and this, he's been very flat-footed. He's having to stand and slug more and more, and that, you know, that's usually a sign of tiredness. He can't keep his boxing going.
I don't think this Mexican's going to stop, is he, or run out of gas. He's used to going long distances, never been stopped. He'll just keep on throwing the leather, and he's obviously very, very fit.
Yes, you'd say he's fit and he's rugged and he's tough, and he's just not letting Martinez off the hook.
This is a big round for Margarito. He's taking too many at this stage. Martinez, there's a danger he just might fall apart if he's not careful. Some heavy shots going through. It's going wrong here for Sergio Gabriel Martinez. His American debut is turning into a bit of a bad dream. He's almost fighting on instinct, just a few seconds left in the round. And it's been a terrible run. He's caught again by these shots, and again the legs wobbled. He stayed upright. Joe Cortez looking. He's all over the place here, Martinez, and it is stopped almost as if the bell was going to sound. And that non-stop aggression throughout the 3 minutes wins the fight for Antonio Margarito, who in truth always looked the likely winner. And Sergio Gabriel Martinez, the Argentinian, fell apart with only, must have been, what, 2 seconds left in the round.
Well, it was very close to being over the round there, but it was good. You know, you could tell from the beginning or the middle of the round that the strength was starting to flow out of Martinez. Margarito sensed it. It was a good attack. He never let him off the hook, just kept the punches going in, got him on the ropes, trapped him there, and just kept throwing punches. And